All right, so I just finished watching Into the Spider-Verse, and I have to say it was probably one of the better Spider-Man movies I've seen in a while. I think I put it up above like Homecoming, for sure. I don't quite put it above Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 2. I think that will forever go down as the best Spider-Man movie. But there were a couple of things. I almost feel like this is a successor to the Sam Raimi movies in some way. They included like everything that he did in those movies, which was really interesting. He did the whole, they even did like the Spider-Man dance thing for a second. And it was pretty funny. He's like, yeah, we just don't talk about that. So I would say that there's some spoilers in this review. I would say, come back and watch this after you see it. I think that this was definitely, though, one of the best Spider-Man movies. I would almost want to put it behind Spider-Man 2 with the Sam Raimi, because the first two were the best. Homecoming was okay, but it had a lot of flaws. This feels like a Spider-Man movie. Not only that, it feels like a comic book movie in some ways. The choices that the director made, especially with the slower motion, I feel like it was shot, I think it was shot in like 20 frames per second or something. It has this weird stop-go feel to it, and it really kind of gives it this kind of comic feeling, which you rarely get that as much anymore. A lot of these movies today, they feel too much like popcorn movies sometimes, and they're trying to be too grounded, whereas I always had this feeling that the old ones captured that fun comic vibe a little bit better. And there's all kinds of stuff going on with like thwips. Sometimes you see like that turns into comic panels, and you'll get like the little messaging going across the panels. It looks really cool. I like the choices that they made for this movie. This, first and foremost, though, and this is where there'll be a lot of flack, is, Miles Morales is obviously the hero of the movie. Peter Parker is in the whole movie, though, but he's more of like a mentor to Miles Morales in this. And I've heard some people are mad about that, but it's like the whole movie, since it was marketed, that was never a hidden thing that this is going to be a Miles movie. So if you can't get over that, you're probably not going to like the movie. And I know some people don't like Miles. It's fine. I like the origin they gave him in this movie. I wish they would retcon him to having that origin. Now, the interesting thing is there are a couple different Spider-Man characters in the movie. They do make it work. They're all from different dimensions. So I was wondering, like Spider-Gwen, was she going to be in the movie? She's from her own universe. The pig was a little over the top, but they all have their different styles and it works. Spider-Man Noir, who I don't know if they advertised, is in this movie, and he works really well. He's like a really standout character, the way they have him. He acts like he popped out of the 1930s for real. The movie has a lot of heart. You get a lot of good human elements, like relationships, especially between Miles and his uncle and his dad. So I would say I'd give this movie a 4 out of 5 for sure. So if you don't want spoilers, I'm going to talk spoilers now. So come back. But there's this whole scene with, the Prowlers comes in. If you remember Miles' origin, like his Uncle Aaron was the Prowler, and there's a really good scene between them where Aaron dies and his dad blames Spider-Man. That felt really underdeveloped. I wish they would have done a better job with that, for sure. But I did like that dynamic, him and his uncle, because that was always a special relationship that's been lost. I've been following the comics since he was in the Ultimate Universe, so I always liked that dynamic with him and his uncle and everything, and that was nice to see. There's two Peter Parkers in this movie. The one that's in Miles' universe dies pretty much within the first 15 minutes of the movie. That felt kind of underwhelming, though. Like, it felt like it just never sank in. Like, it never felt impactful that he died, because right after Peter Parker dies, the alternate Peter Parker comes in and he's like, hey, what's going on here? And you never quite feel the impact of Spider-Man's death. His whole death is underwhelming in a lot of ways, because he just dies like from 2 punches from Kingpin. I think that could have been handled a little bit better. I feel like if they had just given the movie an extra 15 minutes, you could have developed that a little bit better. Because, it's the death of Spider-Man, and it would have helped kind of set that tone just a little bit more. The fat Spider-Man, though, I liked. So the one from, I guess they're going to say our universe, the 616 or whatever, he's got gray hair, streaks, he's chubby, he's got like a belly. It's set that he's older, and I thought that was pretty cool. I liked seeing it, like a crack in his back Spider-Man running around and like teaching this one. He's like, really just kind of lost a lot of his optimism and stuff. And you get to see him kind of get that back a little bit. I thought that was pretty fun. Overall, though, I did enjoy the movie. I liked it. I put it up there right. I put it under Sam Raimi's Spider-Man because it feels like a Spider-Man movie, and that movie felt like a Spider-Man movie. Felt like a comic book is the best way to say it. And this definitely feels like a comic book. In some ways, if you remember that old Incredible Hulk movie, the one before the Edward Norton one, that movie tried to do a lot of the things that this did and failed, and this movie actually succeeded at it. So it's definitely aimed for kids. I think kids will enjoy it. Mine enjoyed it. And it's stuff like this that's important because it keeps the characters going. So, will this translate to comic book sales? Probably not, but I wouldn't mind seeing a sequel, and I think that there will be. This was a really fun movie. It moves the whole time. Like, I'm never tapping my fingers waiting for the movie to end. I enjoyed it all the way through. So I think it's worth checking out if you're interested in just seeing a fun movie. You will like it. It had a lot of heart and a lot of emotion. It was a good movie. I enjoyed it quite a bit, more than I thought I would. I thought I was going to go in liking it, but I came out loving it. So it was a lot of fun. Check it out. Also, check out my Patreon. Check out my Stream Me. Let me know in the comments what you thought about this if you went and saw it. And make sure you leave a comment. Make love to the notification bell. Subscribe. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.